hello there, labels and jelly spoons. I'm afraid the time has come. My little trip to the UK is sadly drawing to a close. This is phase one. I'm leaving my dad's house up here in Cambridgeshire, but bringing the old chap along to go for a quick coffee and a sandwich on his newly revitalised Zephyr 750. He, rather drastically after his stroke and subsequent recovery, decided that he wasn't really into the luminous green Kermit the Frog Lawson colours of his Zephyr, and he actually managed to buy himself a second Zephyr 750, and he's in the process of melding the two of them together into a super Zephyr, much more subtly coloured. So yeah, it's good to actually get the time just to finish off this little trip with a tiny little ride out with my dad. Haven't seen him on a bike since the last time we went out for a ride in, what was that? That was 2016. I haven't seen my dad on a bike for 2 years. And of course, all trips should involve a visit to old enemies, old adversaries, just to show them that I'm not scared. So there's the Ford out of the way. Still remarkably, we are 1 for 1 for UK trips and bike on the floor incidents. For those of you who've missed my many references to the unfortunate incident, a big dent on my petrol tank. After Ian of the Croatia and Como trips fame, and it's to drop the bike outside the garage as he was parking it for me. It's going to take me a little while to get over that. See? Much more subtly coloured. Still got the wonky boob silencers though. Glad to see that. Dip and dazzle exhaust nipples. Speaking of which, I've managed to find the missing bolt for my baffles. So I've recorked the FZ1. It's now singing in EU legal tones. Right, it's looking good, that bike. The donor bike that he's actually picked up, amazingly, it'd only done 14,000 miles, so he's also currently in a little bit of the deciding phase of which bike to actually use as the base, because 14,000 miles for a 27-year-old bike, that's not a lot. Not a lot! Yeah, it's been a fantastic trip, it really has. We've had ups, we've had downs, and then we've had backups again. You know, I'm talking about the remote control, look at that. Only bloody went back and found it, didn't I? Well chuffed about that, and it still works. Charged it up, works as good as it ever did. So the moral of that story is, never give up and always be prepared to crawl through a dirty ditch in your leathers with a torch in your mouth. The weekend was a glorious success. The Moto Cafe tour went exceptionally well. Far, far smoother than expected, or probably than deserved. The turnout was utterly amazing. The banter, the mood, the weather, all of it. Oh, it was just so much fun. So thank you to everybody who was involved. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for putting in the effort. Thanks for the enthusiasm. God, just everybody's mood, everybody's attitude was just so good. Really, really, really glad that we did that. And then the afternoon on the electric bikes with the English Electric Motorcycle Company was a great deal of fun. I think you probably know from the Zero reviews that I did already, I'm a big fan of those machines. So I of course jumped at the opportunity to go and razz some around in the countryside, and really hoping to be involved with a couple of future projects with the English Electric Motorcycle Company. Watch this space, hopefully some exciting stuff will be going on there. So we're just popping into the very eerie, oddly characterless and utterly personality-free town of Cambourne, which was just created out of nowhere to house, well, people who needed housing halfway between Cambridge and Bourne, hence the name Cambourne. Very imaginative. I've never really seen any semblance of life or activity here. The place just always looks like a nuclear testing town. Very strange. Yeah, we're going to stop for a coffee. Last few minutes of chin wagging with the old man there, and then onwards on the last few steps of the journey for this little trip. Perfect. Right, see you in a minute. Right, well, we're caked and coffeed, so let's head off. And despite everything I just said, Green's Coffee & Co. in Cambourne, I would wholeheartedly recommend. And also, oh, amazingly, we just sat there having a coffee, and this chap walked up, said, "I know that bike, you're AndyManCam." So I've officially been recognised in public. So thanks very much for that, Robert. Pleasure to meet you, mate. And amazingly as well, he said he really wanted to come down to the Sunday ride out, but it was just a little bit too far. So there we go, small world, eh? If Muhammad can't get to the mountain, we bring the mountain to Muhammad. Don't know in that analogy whether I'm the mountain or Muhammad, I'm not really sure. But in any case, there is a very ego-boosting happenstance and a sign that the world is a lot smaller than we think. Take care, Dad. Yeah, ride careful. I'll see you soon. There he goes. And here I go. So that's Dad adios, and to head on to the next part of this Auf Wiedersehen section of the trip. Because due to another complete freak of fate, it's my little brother's birthday tomorrow, so we're going to have a couple of jars tonight to drink him into his birthday. Before that, it would be rude to blast through my old stomping ground without having a quick little run down my old favourite stretch of road. I mean, when I say favourite stretch of road, I literally mean this little bit of S-bendery here. She's got gravel on it, that's very disappointing. And look at that, these lads are enjoying it as well. Not going to be able to get much cornering speed up there, is he? On that cruise ship of a car. The local members of the community will have already cottoned on that I'm actually going in the wrong direction. I just turned around and did it again. So I'm going to do it again. Gravel. Yep, that'll do. That's that box ticked. Let's carry on. Continental. It really is. I'd say it's probably about the same size as Africa. It's a fine machine, isn't it? So I'm going to pop into my brother's place and I'll see you all back in a couple of seconds after I've had an evening of family visitage and alcoholic fueled japery. Sit tight, I'll be back in a second, and hopefully not too fuzzy headed as we continue on our journey back to Germany. Good morning. Well, there's another thoroughly enjoyable box ticked. Merriment was had, familial time was spent, and now onwards to Dover to meet Bulldog Gaz, load the bike on the trailer, get back to Germany. So while I continue to wake up in this fresh, frosty summer morning, I'll throw a bit of montage action at you. Whatever not. I took a wrong turn. I didn't want to come down here. I just wanted...
I will give you an exit ticket.
Okay, thank you. ladies and gents, boys and girls, that is the end of that. Now back in sunny Hamburg. The time is 20 past 1 in the morning, and after about 18 hours on the road, the trip is finally over. With a grand total of 3,487 kilometers travelled on the bike. That's not counting the roughly 2,000 that we've done in the car with the bike on the trailer. Which leads me seamlessly to thanking immensely and wholeheartedly Bulldog Gaz and his lovely lady wife Connie for taking me on the trailer, for doing all of the driving, both there and back, and basically for making this whole trip possible. Thanks guys, thank you so very much. Thanks also to all of you who were involved with both days of the Moto Cafe tour. I think they were successful beyond my wildest dreams, and I had a lot of fun on both of them. So thanks all of you for coming along to those and making them thoroughly enjoyable days. Thanks to everybody who's been supporting me on the Patreon page. Thanks to you guys, I'm able to put fuel in the tank and a whole raft of other things behind the scenes that just enable me to keep these wheels rolling. And finally, thank all of you and your eyeballs for watching these videos. Without you, it just wouldn't work. So that's me finished. I am impossibly tired, so I just need to take care of the short 20 minutes from Gary's home to my home, throw myself into bed, and then tomorrow I'll get started on the mammoth task of editing all of this stuff together. Once again, at this point you'll be watching and all of the editing will be done, so yay me! In the meantime, keep them all shiny everybody, and I will see you next time, and hopefully in daylight. Take care and ta-ta! And that is the end of that.